Great.
There we go.
Still says off air to me.
No, we're live. I've just got an email.
Fantastic. Right, it says off air though, but hello and welcome back to our YouTube channel. In today's video, we are joined with the brilliant Blair Gibson. He's the editor for the channel, and what we're going to do is with today's game. The match ended Dundee 2, Rangers 1, and thank God we've given ourselves time to do this because we were absolutely fuming, but we'll get into that. So the one goal today came from Joe Garner, and actually it was quite a brilliant goal. Joe Garner was on the edge of the box. He took it past two players, lifts his head up, sees a space, and has a very speculative shot into the goalkeeper's corner, and he drills it in with power. It was a lovely long shot to see. But there were so many negatives today, and it almost seemed like any positives that there were completely and utterly drowned out. But Wes Foderingham, Blair, I think Wes Foderingham, once again, saved us on so many occasions. I think he's an amazing shot stopper, but when it comes to the ball at his feet, why on earth would you want a keeper to play football at their feet unless it's Manuel Neuer? I think Foderingham is a very reliable keeper for a shot. He's given too much work with this defence. Too many silly errors go in. I think there was around 5 or 6 unnecessary defensive flaws today, which led to an attack. And I think about 3 of those led to Wes Foderingham save. So hats off to the guy for that. Also, I think another positive would have been Kenny Miller. He didn't get a goal for us, but I think Kenny Miller is someone who all the fans and the players should actually really look up to because he doesn't give up. He may not always get goals, but he's our top goal scorer with 6 this season. Although that does say a lot. If Ross County can have a player on 13 and 14 and we have a 37-year-old who's on 6, what does that say about our efficiency in front of goal?
Yeah,
players that took your eye or for any reason whatsoever?
So, start with Foderingham first.
Yep.
Again, people are going about like, oh, he's not good at the ball at his feet, which is true, he's not. But there's also a positive to Fotheringham's play as his goal kicks. I don't understand why not play to the goalkeeper's strengths. Obviously, if he's not good with the ball at his feet, why not just get him to punt it up the field? Punt it up. Have you seen obviously the goal kicks that he's been producing lately?
Yep.
Straight to Mackay, on head to Garner, even to Miller or Waghorn. So yeah, he should probably pick the ball up rather than try to pass it from the back. And a few times today, it was horrendous, like heart and mouth type stuff from pretty much nothing at all. So yeah.
So before we move on to your pretty much analysis of Halliday and Hyman, I think that the reason why Foderingham isn't good with the ball at his feet is because teams have absolutely found out, haven't they? If we're going to get the ball in our defence, all we're going to do is turn around, pass the ball back. 1 or 2 players go and press the ball. Foderingham, he has no choice whatsoever, but it's always going to lead, if not always, mostly going to lead to a turnover in possession. So what did you think about Andy Halliday throughout today's game?
I didn't see Andy Halliday in today's game. I mean, it was pretty much an empty shirt the whole game. I think he just sinks so much into the team. There's no, I mean, I don't know if it's a position he's playing, if it's something to do with confidence, but he's just not there. I mean, the only time I actually seen him was he was coming off to get substituted, and even then he just looks so annoyed at himself, so angry with his performance. But I mean, there's no one else to blame but himself, and I think the fans, although they can see that he's frustrated, again, it's just not good enough at all. Not in that position.
That's well said. I think you've summed it up really well there, quite fairly, without ranting him as well. And poor Halliday, man, like he really, you can see it on his face, he wants to do well, but his legs just won't carry him. He just can't do it. It's a huge change to the player that he was last season. Summed it up really. We're lagging so much.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I just realised that.
Continue to Emerson Hyman, son.
Oh yeah, I can what happened there? Like someone just completely just went weird. Right. Okay. Yeah, Emerson Hyman. Again, another shining light. Again, stifled in the game. 2 or 3 Dundee defenders on him every single time.
Yeah.
Not good enough. Not good enough in terms of just. I think there's glimpses, but it's not finding the space, and I think overall it was average. But what we've seen the past few weeks, it just again I think the performance from the whole team, it just let them down a little bit. I think it was average, but glimpses wasn't quite there, I'm afraid. Not today.
I think with Hyman, the way I put it is that he's a spark, but in United,
Yeah.
I think Hyman, I've seen him play really, really well on 2 occasions, but other occasions he hasn't ever been quite terrible, but he's never been, the player that we saw him on his debut. That was quality. Yeah. The more we see of that, the better.
I think the ball at his feet, I mean, every time he's got the ball at his feet, it looks tidy. There's always a little dink, the little pass, the link of play. But there wasn't enough impact from today, in my opinion. I don't think he done well enough. Even just a short goal, just something. It wasn't even that. It was not attacking minded as I thought it would have been today. Like every time he was on the ball, it was maybe side passes. Sometimes with a venture forward, but most of the time he was chasing his tail and getting stifled out, as I said. So yeah, just a bit not up to scratch today, I'm afraid.
I think you were absolutely spot on in one of your tweets earlier. You said if every team in the SPL play like they do Rangers, wouldn't be half bad. And you're absolutely right. It seems like everyone steps it up a notch against us, and it's not just that we're a poor team, but it just seems that every team just steps up a gear because they have the feeling that they can beat us, and that's such a big insult. But it's so true as well. Has a chance.
I think that the teams that play against us see that we're on a sort of downward spiral as well. I mean, I wouldn't take a lot for a manager to go, it's Glasgow Rangers. People are going to be watching this game. People will be watching you play. If you put a performance in, you're going to get recognition. I mean, look at Kevin O'Hara. Was it Kevin O'Hara today? I think the young Scottish defender / defensive midfielder running about.
Just go with O'Hara.
O'Hara, yeah, running about, going. No, it was Mark O'Hara. It was Kevin Holt. But yeah, running about everywhere. I mean, Neil McCann says there must have been 2 or 3 of them on the pitch because every single time he was round about a Rangers player. And yeah, I mean, anybody can be watching that game from any club and they'd be like, wow, what a talent. And it's just because that one game he's put a performance on. And yeah, it's exactly what you say. They just put a performance up. They get the result, and in the next game they'll lose, draw, whatever, but it doesn't matter because they beat Rangers last week. So it's all good.
I was really happy that you identified that because I was really glad that someone else was feeling the same way. So, right, something that I saw circulating on Facebook and Twitter about an hour or so after the game finished was, has the nail finally been screwed into the coffin for second place? Is that now Aberdeen's? They're now 6 points clear. Blair, give us your thoughts on that.
Oh, it's going to be a lot to claw back. I would say we need to get on the form, but we at least need to try and win a game first. I mean, it's been pretty dire. I mean, just watching Rangers play as of late, second place. I mean, I don't even know if I want Europe, to be honest. I mean, the money would be good in terms of finishing second, but getting into Europe, we're not really ready for anything of that challenge. I don't know if it's starting the first round or whatever. I don't care. I just don't think the team's ready. We need this season to finish as soon as possible. Go away for the summer. Either get the interim manager in for the end of the season, or leave it to Murty for the end of the season, and then bring someone in the summer or whatever. But we need to regroup and look at the team as a whole, club as a whole, where we're going, what direction. Because right now, I was happy somebody to blow the final whistle in this season, to be honest. I mean, is second realistic? Maybe. But we'd have to at least try and win a few games first we could start even contemplating.
Agreed. We've only really gone on one real run of form, and that's for about 4 games throughout December, wasn't it? Previously, before that, we were struggling, and after that, we're still struggling. So,
it's just been struggling since.
Is that right? It's just a struggle, isn't it, this season? But quick shout out to Graham Murty's handstand. That was actually cheap. So what happened was, I think, do you know what? It's honestly, my mum's such a mess. That was it. Harry Forrester scuffed a chance, which literally, it was kind of Sunday football. You'd expect your bloody 40 tuck it in, but Harry Forrester skied it completely. It skimmed off his foot up over the bar. Graham Murty does some sort of blooming backflip and then ends up doing a handstand.
What reminded me of last season then was Van Gaal when he imitated the guy diving.
If only we could edit that in, but we can't. It's live. But yeah, so now my question for you, Blair, is should we have expected, in fact, a performance from a team that didn't have a manager? Would that be fair?
I think you should expect a performance from any Rangers team, regardless if there's a manager in or not. I mean, a performance is all we ask for, and that's exactly what we're not getting right now. Yeah, I mean, is it unfair? Nah. You're going out, you've got the Rangers strip on your back. I mean,
Okay.
even if they were just a little bit more passionate, Ken and Miller, 37, on about the pitch, try to set an example. We shouldn't have to do that. It should just be ingrained in every single player that this is not good enough and we should be doing better. But yeah, it's not unfair at all to ask, I don't think.
Okay, I agree mostly, but I think partly maybe the reason why the team aren't performing is because Mark Warburton's DNA, his legacy, is still within the club. You know, what he drummed into the club was to play good football, but not to capitalise on the finishing. He didn't intend to do that, but that's what happened. You know, need for a new manager is someone who can just come in, will play ugly football, but as long as we can battle and just fight for these results, that's all that happens. If you think about Walter Smith, he didn't play the most beautiful football, did he?
No, not
but
at all.
What happened was, not at all. But what happened was we managed to scrape results. I'm going to get manager as Walter Smith for a very long time, and that's the reality, I'm afraid. But I think there's been talk of people like Alex McLeish with an assistant of Alex Ray. Alex Ray, obviously, I spoke to over Ladbrokes, and he said he'd be very interested in the job, and he very much favoritised Alex McLeish for the job. And I think, at least for interim, those two would be absolutely brilliant, because people are saying Alex McLeish has recently had a bad history as a manager. You know, he hasn't, after Portsmouth, he barely stayed with the club for over than a year, but he knows Scottish football through.
Yeah, sorry, you're lagging again, but yeah, I think I'll just pick up the end of that. I think recently Alex McLeish has been a bit of a mercenary in terms of being a manager. I think he's followed the money a little bit, which there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's just, again, he can't be a manager all his days, so obviously he's just had a little bit of travel. Is the right man for the job at this point? I don't see why not. I mean, what exactly, how bad can he do compared to exactly how we're playing right now? I mean, a fresh man in, get some ideas in. I'm not going to go on down the route of saying that Alec Ray was a hard tackle midfielder, because Davey was a hard tackling Rangers legend, who we would have thought when he came that this defence would be solid. Turned out completely complete opposite. Yeah. So
didn't bring anything to the club, did he? Apart from maybe passion in interviews and experience in the SPL. But his defensive signings were, well, you can see their deficiencies as we speak. Maybe reliant with Clint Hill here and there, but you know, it's just not enough. James Tavernier, as you said, should be locked in the basement with Jordan Russell. I just think, yeah, there's too many deficiencies, and I think there is talent within the team. Players at that opinion. Apologies if you disagree.
I think that the whole problem is that the players don't really know their jobs. I think if Alex McLeish came in, I think there's one thing that he would do. There's a lot of things Alex McLeish did wrong, and I think it was the last season he was there, but I think every player knew their job. The back four knew what they were to do, midfield, right back to front type thing. I don't think right now this Rangers team know how to set up properly. They're just not. I mean, if you look at the first goal, I mean, there was no one picking up. Was it Mark Harrell, whatever his name was, to begin with, and things like that. Just elementary type stuff. Really quite, amateur stuff. You should be picking your man. You should be pulling them. You should be running back. You should be making sure that everybody's got a man. And I don't know. People just don't seem to know their roles in the team, and it's just like you need somebody like that to come in and just be like, this is what we need to do.
Yeah, agreed. And we're expecting holding midfielder when, let's face it, he's not. That isn't really his position. But where would he play? Left back? Well, we got today, I believe it was Hodgson, wasn't it? That was covering.
It was, yeah. Wallace was out.
Left back spot. If you give him a run of games, he'd be a really solid fullback, whichever side you put him on. But Tavernier, we given him. He was a bit of a liability last season, but he was a very talented liability. You know, he expressed his talent, long volleys, long shots, crosses. I think he ended with 18 goals and 22 assists or something like that, which is ridiculous coming from right back.
Yeah.
But Blair, as a final point, just before we end this, other than Alex McLeish that you would like to see at some point?
I mean,
as Rangers manager,
De Boer's name gets mentioned, doesn't it? Quite a lot. I mean, I wouldn't be unreasonable to ask for a quality manager like that.
No, it wouldn't be. If Celtic can attract attract Brendan Rodgers, and I'm sure we could attract someone like De Boer. But
I mean,
think about finances for
the
now.
finances, yeah, it's always a stumbling block, but yeah, it'd be nice.
I think if someone wanted to work on a tight budget, maybe Derek McInnes would be good at that kind of thing. But for now, Blair, thank you very much. You interrupted me? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Maybe we're going to read out some questions or some statements on the YouTube live broadcast. So.
Oh, here we go. Go on then.
Oh my God, there's a lot.
For fuck's sake.
Somebody says, I'm from Manchester, you Scottish clown, and that's Lord Pogba, your favourite account.
yeah. I think he's.
He also says, such laughing stocks.
Can't deny.
Anshul Sharma says, you truly are an embarrassment. My Uncle Robert says, too many empty shirts today, and all season has been the same. Shocking, which is pretty much what.
Let's just clarify, I can't see this, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I didn't try and include this. Blair's got it in front of him. I didn't even realise.
Yeah, it's because I got the computer. Thomas Norton says, get Hyman on permanent, which I think would be a little pipe dream for overall. Duncan McGregor says, you know, we're just not very nice people. Try to keep it light. Halliday, Kiernan and Tav should be made to train with the women's team to make them up. Thomas Norton said, I actually was going to say something today. I've seen one of the tweets, I think the women's team wanted. I was going to say something like, yeah, I think I'm just going to start following the women's team from now on. It seems like they know what they're doing. Graham Keir says, replace Halliday with Hyman until the end of the season and get Halliday to hell. All right, fair enough. Craig Welsh says, who thought
nice thing, mate. I like that.
Yeah, who thought Halliday was good enough last season playing against part-timers? Most of these guys are bang average, and that is incredibly generous. Massive changes required. Again, something we could agree on. Halliday out, Wilson out, Kiernan out, Tav out. A guy called Great Banter. Okay.
So the whole defence.
Yeah, I know. Our friends over at the Welcome the Chase says, please discuss Murty Dirty Headstand. Dude is running on a Run DMC soundtrack.
Right, can I just say, I am completely utterly in love with We Welcome the Chase podcast, particularly the brilliant Snagsy. So if you like Rangers content whatsoever, please head over to We appeared there a couple of times now. I'm sure we'll be there more in the future. Hey, boys. And CJ Novo 992 as well. Quality.
Some of these comments are brilliant, man. Honestly, they're so good. You should, when you finish doing this, you should read some of them. They're quite funny. But yeah, my Mac's about to die, so it'd be a good idea for me to finish this as well. So yeah.
Right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. We've just shouted out the brilliant We Welcome to Chase podcast. Please check them out, and our partners over to a very charismatic young Rangers fan. Young, I say he's 25. He's older than me, but he sees more of the comedy gaming side of Rangers. But also, Sons of Struth Facebook page will be in the description. That's a very, very important page. Please check it out.
All right. Thanks very much, lads.
Thank you very much.